Midnight. Oh. Sophie Manning, the girl the whole school called a bad girl, was being subdued at the study desk. A few strands of hair, matted with sweat, clinging tightly to her flushed cheeks. Her voice trembled, carrying a touch of exhaustion that bordered on collapse. Her face twisted in a pout, pleading to give up. Seeing her, like she was on a quest for scriptures, I felt no pity. Instead, I coldly pointed at the desk, holding a math test with a perfect score, slamming it down in front of her, threatening that she couldn't dream of sleeping until she finished this big problem. She glared at me resentfully with those peach blossom eyes, muttering under her breath that I had no idea how to cherish delicate beauty. But she didn't know. This was the only price for staying at my house. Memories pulled me back to that stormy afternoon, right after school let out. Students all hurried by with umbrellas. Only she stood huddled in her uniform in the corner of the wall. She bowed her head, that signature smoky gray hair completely obscuring her face. Perhaps unsure if I was calling her, she lifted her head, doubtfully pointing a finger at herself. In that instant, I finally saw this stunningly beautiful face. Delicate features, long curled lashes, her rain-soaked face etched with loneliness. I recognized her. Sophie Manning from class 11-3, the infamous delinquent of the school, dyeing her hair, skipping classes, rumored to hang out with thugs outside. No one, boy or girl, dared approach her. I'd never imagined. The bedraggled figure sheltering from the rain at the school gate was her. In the moment our eyes met, her lashes trembled slightly. What? Her voice full of impatience. I was momentarily stunned, but somehow, compelled, I offered the umbrella. You're soaked through. Let me walk you home. Hearing my words, she seemed a bit shaken. Her eyes held a hint of wariness. Which way are you going? Seeing her not moving, I pressed. Or are you waiting for someone? Sophie Manning shook her head. The light in her eyes dimmed. I can't go back anymore. Can't go back? Back where? Home? I was bewildered, but still tried to shield her completely with that not-so-large umbrella, striving to cover her entirely. Forgot the keys, she said in a low voice. So what do? We can't just stand here getting drenched forever. As soon as the words left my mouth, Sophie Manning suddenly seemed to think of something. Tilting her head, a spark of mischief flashed in her eyes. How about letting me crash at your place for a bit? This bold suggestion caught me off guard. My house? That might not be appropriate. I knew it. The brightness in her eyes instantly faded. She bowed her head low again. The girl's disappointed look left me a bit flustered. I hurriedly explained. It's not that it's impossible, it's just. Don't you mind that it's just me living alone at my house? Sophie Manning suddenly lifted her head. Of course. What's the problem with you living alone? Let's go. As she said this, my heart started pounding. Truth be told, even though Sophie Manning's reputation wasn't great, her beauty was truly heart-stirring. She stood up, half a head shorter than me. What's your name? Liam Nash. Liam Nash, huh? Sounds nice. Yeah? Thanks. The whole way, we chatted idly like that. When she learned my parents were abroad year-round, and I lived alone, a flicker appeared in her eyes, of complex emotions. So, will your parents come back tomorrow? I asked, not sure. So what are you planning? Hearing the question again, Sophie Manning shot me a glare. Even with her ash-gray hair, the expression somehow looked a bit cute. Can't you wait until I've dried off? Before figuring that out, I nodded. Fair enough. So I won't ask any more. Sophie Manning burst out laughing. But right after, her face turned expressionless again. I followed her gaze, spotting classmates coming the opposite way. When they saw us together, they all actively avoided us, with strange looks. So all this time, she'd been this lonely, and here I was, bringing the school's infamous delinquent home. This action made me a bit anxious. But when I turned to see her expectant face, and those long lashes beaded with rain, all worries were tossed aside. We're home. From the bathroom came the sound of rushing water, steam filling the air. On the sofa lay a few undergarments that didn't belong here, emitting a strange yet warm scent, like the sweetness of candy. I sat upright in the corner of the sofa, eyes not daring to wander. Back straight. This was the first time in my life a girl my age appeared in my house. Half an hour later, Sophie Manning stepped out of the bathroom, wrapped in a bathrobe, her soaked hair bundled in a towel. Her makeup-free face looked incredibly innocent. I stared, mesmerized. The intense gaze made her blush a little. No peeking, okay? She grabbed the clothes prepared on the sofa, darting into the room like a startled fawn. That was originally my bedroom, seemingly still uneasy. I even heard the click of the door locking. I chuckled and shook my head, muttering, I wasn't planning to look anyway. When she came out again, she was wearing one of my oversized shirts, the hem just covering her thighs, making her legs look so long and straight, a strange feeling I'd never had before, as if she belonged to me. Pretty? Sophie Manning deliberately leaned close to me, her eyes carrying a hint of teasing. I felt my face heat up, quickly turning away, switching on the desk lamp. I have homework to do. Aren't you doing yours? Seeing her not moving, I added another question. Who has time for that? She sprawled out on the sofa, pulled out her phone and started scrolling videos. I didn't bother with her anymore, forcing myself to focus on the workbook. A guy and girl alone in a room. If I didn't do something to distract myself, the atmosphere would be way too awkward. After finishing 2 big problems, I gradually sank into deep concentration, not knowing how much time had passed. A ticklish sensation suddenly at my neck. I startled and turned around, the pen nearly poking that exquisite face. What are you doing? I clutched my chest and leaned back. You scared me half to death. I didn't expect you to study so intently. Sophie Manning clasped her hands behind her back, bending down to look at me, smiling until her eyes curved like crescent moons. Weren't you playing on your phone? When did you come over? She pointed at the floor, saying reasonably, just now, duh. All right, I have a favor to ask. What is it? She bit her lip, her expression turning a bit shy. My parents won't be back tomorrow either. Can I stay here one more day? I couldn't help frowning. Another day? Seeing my hesitant face, the light in Sophie Manning's eyes dimmed a bit, becoming anxious and uneasy. For some reason, I sighed. Fine. Just one day though. Yeah. She cheered excitedly, spreading her arms to hug me. But midway, realizing something off, she quickly braked, pretending to smooth her side hair. Classmate Liam Nash, you're really righteous. Consider this repayment. From now on at school, Big Sis here will have your back. After saying that, she boldly patted my shoulder. The next day we went to school together, since we're both 11th graders, and in the same building. Walking together inevitably drew whispers. The classmates' stares pierced like needles, full of scrutiny and buzzing gossip. To stares like these, she seemed long accustomed to ignoring them. She held her head high, walking casually. Classmate Liam Nash, wait for me after school. Standing at the classroom door, she waved goodbye, then headed to class 3 at the end of the hall. As soon as I sat down in class, my desk mate leaned over right away, with a weird face. Hey, how'd you get mixed up with that Sophie Manning girl? You know her too? I pulled out books, while casually replying, who in this school doesn't? My desk mate lowered his voice, his face full of contempt. Last week I heard people saying, she's messing around improperly with thugs outside school. That time she took leave and didn't come to class. Rumor is she went for an abortion. Abortion? My movements froze, brows furrowed tight. Yeah, you really didn't know. Don't let that face fool you. My desk mate put on a lecturing face. Don't look at Sophie Manning all dolled up flashy. Her private life is a mess. Girls like that, you best stay far away. Hearing this, a surge of bitterness and anger welled up in me. I remembered her clear eyes, wearing my shirt last night, remembered her helpless figure in the rain. Wrong. She's not that kind of person. I coldly cut him off. Why won't you believe me? Seeing I wouldn't listen to advice, he was about to say more. Teacher's here. I didn't want to argue anymore. Pulled out the textbook to block his view, though I defended her verbally. That whole day I was like walking on clouds. My desk mate's words echoed like a curse. Thugs, abortion, chaotic, private life. Scenes from last night on the sofa replayed uncontrollably in my mind. Was she really that kind of person? I took a deep breath, shook my head hard. No, Liam Nash. Trust your own eyes. After school, Sophie Manning waited at the classroom door as promised. She had bangs styled. Her already sweet dimples looked even more captivating in the sunset. As soon as she appeared, the air around seemed to freeze. The boys' gazes carried a mix of longing and scrutiny, while the girls were more complex, jealous yet evasive. Not leaving yet? Sophie Manning poked her head in to ask, chewing gum with smacking sounds, ignoring all the stares around. Let's go. I packed my bag, walked toward her under everyone's eyes. You're so slow. She nudged my shoulder discontentedly. Lots of homework today. I explained. You don't look so good. She sensitively noticed my mood dipping. Someone bother you? It's nothing. I didn't want to hear those rumors. Just a short way out the school gate. Up ahead suddenly came sharp yells. I thought, you little brat wouldn't dare show up at school anymore. This time, I've got you. Right at the corner, outside the gate. Several yellow-haired thugs blocking the way. The leader, arm tattooed with a long scar. Fierce eyes. You scammed my money and thought you could run? Not that easy. The tattooed guy cracked his knuckles while approaching. Sophie Manning instinctively stepped in front of me. This is near the school. Don't act reckless. My brain raced, glancing at the guard room not far, calculating the success rate of calling for help. But before I could act, two more flanked us from behind. Run? Let's see where you run today. The tattooed one's name was Victor Kane, the notorious thug boss in the area. He sneered. Sophie Manning, once you take the money, you gotta know the rules of the streets. I've been in this game for years, Victor Kane. Hate being played the most. You forced me. Sophie Manning's voice trembled a bit, but she tried to sound tough. Forced you. Huh. Today, if you don't come with me, this debt gets settled another way. As Victor Kane spoke, he reached out roughly to grab Sophie Manning, casually shoving me hard. Scram, you pampered brat. What you're doing is illegal. Forcing someone's will. Signs of kidnapping. I staggered from the push, but immediately blocked in front of Sophie Manning again. Before, I'd detour at the sight of thugs. But today, courage came from nowhere, making me not back down. Where'd this bookworm come from? Playing hero to save the beauty. Victor Kane grabbed my collar tight, hoisted me up like a chick. His underlings chimed in, boss. This kid looks soft and fair. Probably Sophie Manning's little boy toy. Before Victor Kane could reply, Sophie Manning charged forward, bursting with surprising strength, shoving hard, making Victor Kane stumble. Let him go. Seizing the moment, Victor Kane loosened his grip. A warm hand, but trembling, gripped mine tight. Run! Sophie Manning dragged me sprinting the opposite way. The thugs froze for a second, then cursed and chased close behind. Wind whistled in my ears, not just stinging my face, but mixed with footsteps closing in from behind. Absolutely can't get caught. Sophie Manning's voice urgent, broken, carrying clear sobs. I glanced at her instinctively. My heart shook secretly. She wasn't as carefree as the rumors, nor fearless at all. She was just a girl who knew fear, though we ran with all our might. But Sophie Manning was a girl after all. Stamina draining, speed clearly slowing, while the thugs behind used to fights only meters away. Seeing Victor Kane's hand about to grab her bag, my mind heated up. I shoved Sophie Manning forward hard, yelling, "You run first, call the guards and police." After saying that, I braked sharp, turning to block the path alone. Sophie Manning stumbled a few steps, turned back, looking at me in horror. "What are you standing there for? Get out of here." I don't know where the courage came from to snap at her, then gritted my teeth, clenched fists, charging straight at the oncoming Victor Kane. This was my first fight ever. Reality unlike movies. My punch easily dodged by Victor Kane, followed by a 1,000-pound blow, smashing right into my cheekbone. Crack. What? Stars exploded before my eyes. The massive impact sent me tumbling to the ground. Then came punches and kicks like pouring rain. In my daze, I saw Sophie Manning hadn't run. She was crying and screaming, trying to rush back to save me, "You idiot." My heart panicked. If neither runs, won't we both die? Just then, from afar, came an authoritative shout. "What are you doing? Guards are here." 2 guards with rubber batons in hand, sprinting this way. The thugs heard the noise. Victor Kane spitefully spat. "Count yourselves lucky. Let's go." The thugs scattered immediately. I lay flat on the ground, body aching like falling apart. Sophie Manning dropped to her knees beside me with a thud, flustered trying to help me up, tears falling like broken pearls. Liam Nash story. "How are you? Don't scare me." When the guards arrived, seeing our uniforms and injuries, their faces full of surprise. "How'd you kids get mixed up with those outsiders? Need the hospital? Or should I report to the teachers?" "No need, sir." I suppressed the pain, sitting up, hurriedly waving it off. If this reached teachers or parents, Sophie Manning's school situation would be even worse. I didn't explain much. Just said, "Just surface wounds, sir." Sigh, you kids these days. The guard shook his head helplessly, looking at Sophie Manning, advising, "Then help your friend home. Be careful on the way. If anything, report to police right away." "Yes, sir." Sophie Manning nodded vigorously, using all her strength to help me stand. Under the late sunset, Sophie Manning, supporting my limping self, slowly trudging toward my house. "Thanks." She bowed her head low, voice tiny like a mosquito buzz, carrying deep regret. "It's fine," I hissed from the pain, trying to keep my voice light. Silent for a long while, Sophie Manning finally couldn't hold back. She stopped, red-rimmed eyes looking at me. "Don't you have anything to ask me?" "Ask what?" "About me, about those guys, and the rumors too." After getting home, Sophie Manning found the first aid kit, carefully tending my wounds. Under my persistent questioning, she finally, haltingly told the truth. Turns out it wasn't forgotten keys, but completely kicked out of home. Her parents went away for business early on. Later, lost all contact. From young, she had to stay with her uncle's family. At first, parents still sent money. The family treated her decently. But when the allowance stopped, Aunt's face grew uglier by the day. Any displeasure led to harsh beatings and scoldings, until half a month ago, after a fierce argument over trivia, Aunt threw all her stuff out, declaring no more responsibility. That stormy day she met me. She'd been wandering the streets for days. "What about that Victor Kane guy?" I asked. Sophie Manning bowed low, fingers twisting the hem of her shirt. "I was so hungry. No place to stay. Victor Kane said he could lend me money. I borrowed 800 yuan. But after getting it, I learned he wanted me to do that thing. I got scared and ran with the money." The truth was clear. No abortion. No chaotic private life at all. Just a girl at the end of her rope, struggling to survive. Looking at her, a indescribable pity welled up in me. How much of that 800 yuan is left? Sophie Manning was stunned, lifted her head, her ash-gray hair a bit messy. Why ask about the money? How much left? Give it to me. I extended my hand, tone allowing no refusal. Sophie Manning hesitated a while. From her pocket, pulled out a crumpled 100 yuan bill. Just this 100 left. I was saving it to buy medicine for you. Give it, I said. Hand over the money. Sophie Manning's eyes instantly shifted from dazed to disappointed. Even carrying a trace of despair, she smiled bitterly. Makes sense. I got you hurt. This 100 yuan as compensation. If not enough, count it as debt. I'll pay you back later with part-time work. She placed the 100 yuan in my palm, silently stood and headed to the door. Liam Nash, thanks for taking care of me this time. I won't drag you down anymore. Looking at that thin, lonely back, I clenched the 100 yuan, calmly spoke up, making an extremely bold decision. This amount is enough. From now on, just stay here. Sophie Manning's steps halted, incredulously turning back. Huh? You can stay at my place. I waved the bill in hand, repeating, this 100 yuan isn't compensation, but your future rent. She's penniless now. If not here, where else to go? Surely not like before, making deals with devils for survival? I dared not imagine if I hadn't shown up today, what abyss the outcome would lead to. This 100 yuan, how long can I stay? Sophie Manning asked timidly, as if fearing this was a fragile dream. Stay until you don't need to anymore. Really? Amid the bursting joy, Sophie Manning shrieked, charging straight to hug me tight. Though she didn't use much force, it still stung my wounds. For real, I winced and pushed her away, sternly. But I have conditions. You must listen to me. Anything, as long as you don't kick me out. Whatever you say, I'll do. No slacking on studies. You have to make up all the missed knowledge. Study? Sophie Manning's face instantly fell. What's the point of studying? I don't care what the point is. If you want to stay, you must study. And I want you to rank, too. I put on a serious face, voice full of resolve. Second, dye that gray hair back. Dye back? She touched her hair. Yes, to black. This is the first step to starting over. Finally, under Sophie Manning's fierce but futile protests. That weekend she was still dragged by me to the salon. That weekend she was still forced by me to the hair salon. Early Monday morning, when we walked side by side into school, the noisy gate suddenly fell silent for a moment. Sophie Manning beside me slightly bowed her head, her sleek black hair cascading over her shoulders, accentuating her snow-white skin, carrying the beauty of a classic Eastern beauty, drawing admiring yet envious stares from the surrounding boys, all focused on me. This is awful. Do I look too weak? Sophie Manning unconsciously edged closer to me. She whispered, her hand lightly tugging my sleeve. Looking like this, I must seem easy to bully. No way. I shook my head, tilting to look at her. You look really beautiful. As soon as the words left, Sophie Manning choked up. From the corner of my eye, I saw her ears quickly reddening, the tense face from before relaxing. We headed straight to the teaching building, just as I was about to enter class as usual. From Sophie Manning's class 11A3 next door, suddenly came sharp yells. Sophie Manning, did you steal the class fund? That was a male student's roar, sounding like class monitor Tyler Vance. I didn't. How could that be? In the hallway came Sophie Manning's weak but stubborn defense. Tyler Vance's voice rose higher, full of contempt. Why not? Don't think I don't know about your messed up home life. Sophie Manning, your aunt came to school, causing trouble. She said you were kicked out. penniless. Now you're desperate for money, right? If not you, who? Everyone's watching. Stand still. I have to search you. Those words were extremely aggressive, like stabbing knives. Sophie Manning couldn't refute, just repeating, I didn't steal. Rarely. I heard her voice trembling like she was about to cry. Hearing this, my mind boomed, unable to suppress the anger anymore. Immediately turned and rushed to the next class. Behind came my deskmate's call. Hey, Liam Nash, morning reading's about to start. Where you going? I ignored it, rushing to Class A3's door. I saw Sophie Manning backed into the corner, alone with no help, while Tyler Vance reached out, seeming intent on forcibly searching her pockets. What the hell are you doing? I suddenly roared, the sound so loud even I was startled. Tyler Vance jumped in fright, hand stopping midway, turning to me with doubt and annoyance. Aren't you Liam Nash from next class? Running over here for what? Mind your own business. I'm from next class. But I'm also Sophie Manning's friend. I strode into the class, blocking in front of Sophie Manning, staring coldly at Tyler Vance, while glancing at all the onlookers in class. Sophie Manning would never steal money. My voice, extremely solemn, firm. If your class fund is missing, investigate properly before accusing. On what basis do you pin it on her? Tyler Vance frowned and sneered. Huh, another knight in shining armor, huh? How you gonna prove it? She's so poor, she can't even eat now. Most suspicious, one how. You got evidence? At this, Sophie Manning, head down, finally couldn't take it. She leaned out from behind me, clenching fists, eyes red, yelling, Tyler Vance. If you think I usually don't behave well, was a delinquent before, I'll admit that. But saying I stole money, I'd die before admitting. Sophie Manning wasn't weak by nature. She'd been holding back till now, only because it hit the pain of being kicked out. But Tyler Vance's attitude, clearly judging with prejudiced eyes, insisting she was the thief. Anyone can argue stubbornly. Then explain. These days away from home, what did you eat, use? Where'd the money come from? Tyler Vance kept questioning, the insinuations extremely ugly, making classmates whisper. That's none of your business. What I eat or use outside you think you can control. Sophie Manning fought back fiercely, but on this, she really struggled to speak. Surely not blurt out in front of class she's staying at my house, or almost tricked by thugs. Tyler Vance showed a just as I thought face, sneering before the class. Huh, can't answer, huh? Stole the class fund and won't admit. I'll report this to police. Let them talk to you. I immediately raged, then go report to police. I already said, I can prove Sophie Manning didn't steal anything. Because these past days, her living expenses were all lent by me. Tyler Vance impatiently glanced at me, waving, classmate, we're about to start class. Hurry back to yours. Don't disrupt here. Bang! I slammed hard on the teacher's desk, making the chalk box jump a do. Dust flying everywhere. The class, instantly dead silent. Today I leave these words here. Sophie Manning absolutely didn't steal your stuff. I stared unblinking at Tyler Vance. You want to report to police? Fine, why? But if we pull the cameras, prove it's unrelated to Sophie Manning, then what? You publicly insulted a classmate's integrity. Need to take legal responsibility. Tyler Vance was speechless, face darkening. What do you mean? Now we call teacher or police. Whether reviewing cameras or statements, we must clarify where the money went. I stepped down from the podium, advancing, step by step, on him. If investigation shows not Sophie Manning, I don't need you legally responsible, but you must apologize to her in front of the class. I took a deep breath, grinding out loud, not just the class. I want you to publicly apologize at flag-raising ceremony. I'll prove to everyone. She's not some hopeless delinquent. She's just a girl once abandoned and misunderstood. Tyler Vance was stunned, clearly not expecting a mild guy like me to erupt so powerfully. Just then, homeroom teacher, Mr. Chen, entered and had heard what I just said. This student, what's going on? Mr. Chen looked at us puzzled. After over 10 minutes of discussion, Mr. Chen grasped the basics. Mr. Chen, you must judge for me. Money, I put in the desk drawer. How could it vanish into thin air? Must be some sticky fingers took it. Tyler Vance still grumbled. Mr. Chen nodded, seriously adjusting his glasses. Tyler Vance, as class monitor, you shouldn't conclude arbitrarily without evidence. With that, Mr. Chen looked at me approvingly. The suggestion from Liam Nash, next class. I fully agree. We'll investigate thoroughly. If it turns out not Sophie Manning, then Tyler Vance must apologize before the whole school. Any issue with that? Tyler Vance, in a bind, hesitated a bit, finally, swallowed, and nodded. If not her, then I'll apologize before the school. But if it is her, he switched tone, eyes viciously drilling into Sophie Manning. Sophie Manning, unflinching, stood tall, retorting, if it was me. Besides, apologizing. I'm ready to drop out and face legal punishment. The class silent as a grave, even a pin drop audible. Fine, decided then. Let's start investigating. Mr. Chen acted decisively. First, check the cameras. Half an hour later, in the camera room, we reviewed yesterday's footage over and over. Strangely, absolutely no one approached Tyler Vance's drawer to take money. Sophie Manning that whole day didn't even go near that area. The truth, plain as day. Tyler Vance, think carefully again. Did you really put the money in the drawer? Mr. Chen asked straight at Tyler Vance. Not just him, many eyes fixed on him. Besides, teacher, me, Sophie Manning, and a few class committee members along. Tyler Vance's forehead sweated bullets, eyes darting wildly. Let me recall. Clearly, he was panicking. Just then, knock on the camera room door. A girl ran in panting. Mr. Chen, monitor Tai. Everyone's here. All surprised. Mr. Chen asked, Lily, why are you here? Isn't the sports meet coming? Need class uniforms? I went to order samples this morning. Lily was the A3 class league secretary. Purchases and activities usually her responsibility. She wiped sweat, pulling out a stack of small bills and receipts from her bag. Boy. Yes, monitor. Yesterday afternoon after school, you hurriedly gave me the class fund, told me to buy uniforms. Did you forget? Here's the 350 yuan change. Lily held out the money to Tyler Vance. The air seemed to freeze. Tyler Vance's hand hung mid-air, stiff as stone, not daring to take it. What's wrong with you? Lily asked blankly. Class monitor Tyler Vance, pale as death, just wanting a hole to crawl into. Turns out he himself gave the money to the secretary, but due to prejudice against Sophie Manning, when seeing it gone, instinctively pinned it on the delinquent, even forgetting his own action. Witnessing this outcome, Sophie Manning slightly turned her head, humming in satisfaction, the tears in her eyes finally gone. Mr. Chen's eyes sharpened. Tyler Vance, I taught you to be upright as class monitor. Yet due to personal bias, you slandered a classmate's honor like this? If not for Liam Nash insisting on clarifying today, how much harm would Sophie Manning suffer? Publicly criticized. Tyler Vance lost his earlier bravado. I know I was wrong, sir. He bowed low, voice tiny. Apologizing here is useless. Prepare your self-criticism and apology. Next Monday morning, I'll require you on the flag podium for self-review. Mr. Chen had no intent to relent. Also, Tyler Vance, after apologizing, you may no longer suit the monitor position. I'll reconsider. Hearing that, Tyler Vance went limp. Well, like all bones extracted, he always saw a monitor roll as his pride. Yet now, due to his arrogance and bias, everything ruined. Alright, today's matter also thanks to Liam Nash. Finally, Mr. Chen's gaze on me. Class starting soon. Go back to your class. This side I'll discuss with your homeroom. Thanks, Mr. Chen. I politely bowed. Just like that, under admiring looks from the crowd, I leisurely walked out of A3, like a triumphant hero. Just back to my seat. Phone suddenly buzzed. New WeChat message. Sender none other than Sophie Manning. 3 words thanks. With a super cute rolling kitten emoji. Seeing the message, whoa. I couldn't help smiling softly. The weight in my heart finally lifted. No big deal. I'm your creditor after all. Naturally have to protect my debtor, I replied, with a witty joke. Until school ended. Sophie Manning, as usual, waited right at the class door, her glossy black hair and delicate face, once again, drawing plenty of attention. Only this time, those looks had less contempt, replaced by surprise and curiosity. Let's go. She blinked her pretty eyes, mouth curving in a bright smile. We walked side by side out the gate. Tyler Vance stood far off, face green as banana leaves. That felt so satisfying. Sophie Manning walked, kicking pebbles by the road. Mood, clearly, great. He brought it on himself. I smiled back, but the joy didn't last long. Just around the corner, Sophie Manning suddenly froze, face instantly bloodless. It's them again. I followed her gaze. The thugs from days ago, squatting roadside smoking. Leader Victor Kane saw us. Immediately tossed the cig butt, grinning sleazily approaching. Oh, hey, young couple. School's out. Let's take this way. Sophie Manning pulled my hand to turn back, but unluckily, they were prepared. They spread out, directly blocking all escape. Impressive. Let's see you run this time. Victor Kane cracked his neck, face vicious like settling the score from being scared off by guards before. He clearly wasn't done. Let you slip last time. No such luck today. I'll call for help. Sophie Manning stood tall, threatening, but her body trembled slightly. Tease key. This is a dead end. Guards won't hear at this hour. Victor Kane pointed at Sophie Manning, eyes full of malice and greed. Sophie Manning, debt must be paid. It's only right. No money, then pay with your body. Right then, I stepped forward directly, blocking in front of Sophie Manning again. But this time, no fists. Instead, from the bag drawer, pulled out a prepared stack of cash. These past days, I'd withdrawn from my saved red envelope, money. Exactly 800 yuan. Here's 800 yuan. Take the money and scram. I coldly offered the stack. Victor Kane was stunned a moment, seeming not expecting a bookworm like me to pull this. He took the money, counted once, face showing a sly smile. But next second, he suddenly pocketed it, flipping. 800? That's just principal. What about interest? My boy's efforts don't cost. He advanced, step by step, clearly lion's mouth, or basically after the person. Sophie Manning shook with rage. Victor Kane, you're shameless. Clearly said 800. Don't make me use force. Victor Kane reached to push me aside. Today I didn't rashly charge brainlessly. One fall wisens up. I'd prepared everything. I casually pulled out my phone. Screen lit, showing call interface to 110. Call, connected 15 seconds. Our conversation just now. Police heard it all. I looked at Victor Kane emotionlessly. Voice calm to scary. Here only 2 blocks from station. I dialed before leaving gate. By now, local cops probably on way. Guess, if caught red-handed, extorting minors. Plus your priors. Jail for months or years. Take 800 and go or stay for tea. Your choice. After speaking, Victor Kane's face darkened instantly, changing non-stop. He stared at the lit phone screen, eyes flashing caution. Thugs, fear not, fists, most. But real cops, and prison. You brat, not bad. Victor Kane gritted teeth. After weighing, finally didn't dare risk. Count you good, I'll remember this debt. He spat, waving to signal underlings. You lot, let's go. Watching them curse while leaving. Waiting till figures vanished. I finally sighed relief. Turned off phone, actually called 10,086 hotline. To fake police report, those words half true, half bluff. Liam Nash, you scared me just now. Sophie Manning's legs went weak, nearly collapsing. She looked at me, eyes full of admiration mixed with fear. It's over. As tension faded, I realized my hand and Sophie Manning's still gripped tight, palms sweaty. Sophie Manning bowed head, letting me lead. A bit later, she murmured, voice full of remorse, sorry, made you lose money. That 800 yuan. I'll definitely pay back. I turned to look at her, gently, reassuring. Yeah, no rush. Just don't do silly things like that again. Don't get involved with those types anymore. Hearing my advice, Sophie Manning suddenly laughed. That smile under streetlights so radiant, the gloom in her eyes seeming vanished clean this moment. I know. I'll repay you properly. Back home, things seemed on track. Under my ironclad policy, Sophie Manning started a life of grueling review. Though her books were blank, her basics were horribly weak. But I had to admit, she was really smart. Her handwriting was incredibly elegant. Your writing is really beautiful, so keep practicing a lot. I checked her homework while dropping the compliment. Sophie Manning tilted her head, biting the pen, with a blank look. Really? No one's ever complimented me before. I looked at her, seriously saying, next year is 12th grade. It's crunch time. Your foundation isn't bad. Just put in the effort. You'll definitely get into college. I want that too, you know. Sophie Manning sprawled on the desk, deflated like a popped balloon, her eyes showing clear fatigue. But I feel like there are too many gaps in my knowledge. Can't cram anymore. Don't get discouraged. Let's just set small goals. I smiled, pushing a carefully selected basic math problem in front of her. For example, this month's test. Climb up 10 ranks or so. You know, we've made a deal. Miss the goal, and there's punishment. Got it, got it. You nagging old man, Sophie Manning grumbled verbally. But her hand obediently picked up the pen, starting to diligently solve the problem. Studying is inherently dry. But at the narrow study desk, two figures shoulder to shoulder, the lamp stretching our shadows. Even the dry formulas seemed to come alive. At Monday's flag-raising ceremony, Tyler Vance held his self-criticism, reading aloud before thousands of teachers and students. Though just empty words of remorse, and admitting fault, but his flushed face and trembling voice truly cleared Sophie Manning's name. My gaze cut through the crowd, stopping on Sophie Manning not far away. She stood in line, back straight. Maybe my illusion. I saw her eyes seeming slightly misty, but her lips slightly curved up. After that incident, Sophie Manning seemed to cling to me more, whether fetching food at the cafeteria, break time, or PE class. She stuck by me like a little tail. Gradually, rumors about her lesson replaced by speculation about our relationship. During this time, homeroom Mr. Chen called me to the office a few times. In the office, Mr. Chen tapped the desk and said earnestly, Liam Nash, next year is 12th grade. You're our class's top seed. I know you mean well, but at this age, dating is taboo. Plus, that Sophie Manning had a bad rep before. Don't let it affect you. Hearing that, I furrowed my brows tight. First time interrupting a teacher. Mr. Chen, why judge people with outdated eyes like that? Mr. Chen was taken aback. I'm just looking out for you. She's poor in studies and rebellious. Sir, I stood tall, voice firm. Poor studies isn't lifelong. Plus, I want to clarify one point. We're not dating or anything. Sophie Manning is a good girl. She's striving to change herself. As a teacher, shouldn't you give every student a chance to change? Mr. Chen was left speechless by me. Finally just waved me back to class. Stepping out of the office, I took a deep breath. I knew the best way to shut everyone up was academic results. In the following days, I tightened Sophie Manning's studies even more. During self-study, she propped her chin, turned to ask me, "You think I can really do it?" "Why ask that?" Sophie Manning bowed her head, voice a bit lacking confidence. "I always feel dumber than others. That goal of rising 10 ranks. What if I can't?" I deeply understood her feeling, like someone walking in darkness too long, suddenly seeing light but getting scared, fearing it's just an illusion. I gently comforted, "Don't overthink. Just write what you know. Studying, unlike other things, it's very fair. As long as you try, there will be rewards." Sophie Manning nodded, half understanding, looking into my eyes, seeming to find some strength. Less than a week till the monthly test. We studied late every night. Effort doesn't betray. The moment results announced, even Sophie Manning herself was shocked. From class bottom, she jumped straight to top 20. Progress over 20 spots. Looking at the scoreboard, her hands holding the paper shook badly. That was the first time she felt true joy from effort. Liam Nash, I did it. On the way home from school, Sophie Manning suddenly pounced, hugging my arm tight, grinning like a kid with candy. The setting sun shone on her, gilding a golden edge. I knew the girl who once huddled miserably in the rain by the wall that year had finally stepped out of the darkness. But reality is often harsher than ideals. With her stellar progress in grades, class started buzzing rumors of Sophie Manning cheating. After school, Sophie Manning walked beside me, aggrieved, kicking small pebbles along the way. I stopped, gently patted her head and said, "You gotta know, in this world, few want to see others become better, especially someone they once looked down on. Once you surpass them, subconsciously they'll assume it must be fake, just to protect their ridiculous self-esteem." I wasn't intentionally comforting, but my words clearly worked. Tory. Screw them. I don't care. Sophie Manning returned to her usual haughty self, but then she stopped again, staring seriously into my eyes. "But Liam Nash, can I really keep this up forever?" "Of course you can. Scores are the best proof. Only we know, behind each number, how much effort you put in." I answered firmly. "Yeah." Sophie Manning excitedly pounced, nudging my shoulder. The whole way, passers-by cast admiring looks. I rubbed my sore shoulder, smiling wryly. "You trying to kill me to inherit my leftover food stash?" She kept smiling, but her eyes never left me. Suddenly, asking, "You said no one wants others better than them. So what about you? Why do you want me better, and put so much thought and effort to help me?" Her face, extremely serious now, clearly eager for my answer. I looked at her beautiful face, cheeks suddenly flushing, awkward, not knowing what to say. I don't know either." That face getting closer, familiar scent wafting at my nose. "You really don't know?" "Yeah." I scrambled for an excuse. "Maybe because you're staying at my house. Since you're here, I have responsibility for your studies. After all, I'm your creditor." Sophie Manning clasped hands behind, sly smile, body leaning forward a bit. "You mean before there were other girls staying at your house?" No. I hurriedly waved, face reddening more. "Just you alone." "Just me alone?" Yeah, just you. Right this moment. My mind completely blank. We'd reached home without noticing. Sophie Manning stopped once more, staring unblinking at me. Then suddenly dropped an atomic bomb. Liam Nash. Let's date. The words from her mouth, light. But my heart raced wildly, like bursting from my chest. Not to mention dating. From small to big. I hadn't even properly held a girl's hand. That urgent time, pulling her hand to escape, was already the most intimate contact. The air seemed to freeze. Date. Date? Yeah. Don't you get it? Be my boyfriend. She attacked directly. I get it. Next second, why? She took initiative, grabbing my hand. The slight chill from her palm like electricity through my body. I shivered slightly, but reason woke in the last minute. No, we can't date now. I hurriedly pulled back, face full of awkwardness. Sophie Manning's face showed clear dissatisfaction. Didn't expect you so old-fashioned. Who says high schoolers can't date? This is our private matter, not dictated by others. Gotta admit, she was really bold. We stood frozen in the apartment complex. Neighbors, passing curiously, glancing, making me blush beet red. How about we go upstairs first? I tentatively asked. Sophie Manning huffed coldly. Whatever, back home. She didn't mention dating again, but the air suddenly awkward, strangely. We silent, each doing own thing. Though sometimes talking no longer natural as before. The window paper had been poked through. Seeing her made my heart race. Evenings reviewing together, her scent lingering at my nose, making me a bit distracted. Mind replaying her confession over and over. Actually, just a nod from me, and I could legitimately hold her hand, even do more intimate things. But the more I thought, the more I felt I shouldn't. She's so wonderful. Deserves a more proper start. Not a hasty decision under exam pressure like this. Sophie Manning said nothing. Quietly went to shower, as usual, hearing water in the bathroom. I thought a lot. Then, took a deep breath. When she stepped out, towel drying hair, I softly called, Mon. Huh? She looked over puzzled, eyes still holding some disappointment from earlier rejection. About dating, I hadn't finished. Sophie Manning's face lit with happy smile. Finally saw the light. She leaned toward me, voice slightly trembling, but eyes full of expectation. Being my boyfriend has lots of perks. I unconsciously swallowed, her faint scent blanking my mind momentarily. No, that's not what I mean. Hearing that, Sophie Manning halted, eyes instantly icy. So you're saying dating is bad? Top students must focus on studies? You gonna lecture me on civics? No, hear me out first. After some explaining, finally, she looked straight at me. What I mean is, we can date. Sophie Manning's eyes lit up instantly. I knew you wouldn't refuse. But I want to wait till after college entrance exams to officially be together, okay? I shifted the mood, seriously looking at her. Sophie Manning looked puzzled. Why wait so long? Do you think I'm not good enough now? No, you're great, extremely beautiful, and extremely good. My compliment made her blush. Actually, I want to agree right away too. But I read in a book that flowers blooming too fast often wilt soon. Now is a crucial life point. I don't want feelings to be a burden, but motivation for both. I want to give you a solid future. Saying that, my hand naturally on her shoulder, eyes resolute. Sophie Manning shivered slightly, looking at me with complex eyes. After a long while she smiled. I get it. You mean after exams, no matter what, we'll be together, right? Yes. No matter your grades, good or bad. Us together, unrelated to scores. I answered, without hesitation. Only till now did I realize I truly liked her. Not just superficially the looks, but pity for her past, and cherish her resilience. Okay, then, After college exams, Sophie Manning finally shed the burden, smiling fresh like a little fox. But I'll watch you. During this time, don't you dare flirt with any other girl. Hearing this cute threat, I raised hands surrender. Of course not. What are you thinking? In my eyes, there's no one else. Good to know. If I find out, you're dead, Sophie Manning said then, suddenly noticing the ambiguous air. Quickly ran from the room, slammed door shut. Then my phone lit. Message from her. Good night. Future boyfriend. High school life still bland and busy as ever. We day after day buried in problems and books. Though not officially together, in classmates' eyes, we were long, an unspoken couple. Because, if not, who sticks together daily to and from school, and rejects all satellites for the other? But one difference from before was Sophie Manning's reputation gradually improving. One high score. Could be copying or luck, but consistently, top 15 in class. Even occasionally, top 10. No rumors could smear anymore. Even teachers' attitudes toward her changed drastically. She was never a delinquent. This time gave the clearest proof. That 12th grade year, with Sophie Manning's beauty leveling up and grades rising, I saw her get over a dozen love letters. Even boys from other grades, gifting flowers on holidays. Each time those things mysteriously appeared on her desk, she always tossed them straight into trash before everyone without a glance, then linked arms with me, proudly leaving together. The boys all envied me. Occasionally sarcastic words reached my ears. They said I'm just a bookworm. Sophie Manning just happens to like bookworms. I didn't mind at all. Still maintained steady rhythm with her. Eating as usual. Enjoying the rapport-only hours. College exam day came. In Sophie Manning's eyes, not a bit of worry. Just all excitement. Night before the test, she lay beside me, finger drawing circles in my palm. Hey, once exam's over, you're officially mine, okay? Cough. Cough. I coughed awkwardly, ears burning. Yes, over the past year, I'd grown used to having her in life, though not nominally lovers. But many intimate actions nearly made us cross lines. This face, from now on, must label with Sophie Manning. She, hands on hips, reached to pinch my chin lightly, face full of smug. My body stiffened, tried diverting, not reviewing wrong exercises anymore. Sophie Manning crossed legs, mouth chewing snacks, not bothered at all. As the saying goes, big test, big play. Small test, small play. Night before big exam. Of course, play all out for relaxed mind. Her smile with dimples looked super cute, eyes sparkling with future hopes. Afternoon college exams ended. Sky poured rain steadily as if inevitable. Just like our first meeting day. 2 tense test days kept my nerves taut. Stepping out exam room and seeing Sophie Manning in the crowd. World seemed still. She pounced into my arms, ignoring the rain, ignoring surrounding parents and students. She tiptoed, placing soft kiss on my lips. From now on, you're mine. She buried head in my shoulder, softly declaring amid rain. This moment, I hesitated not, arms hugging her tight, returning this late but intense love. Yes, I'm yours now. Forever. Summer break after graduation. We traveled everywhere. At each scenic spot, left our footprints. Feelings suppressed a whole year exploded, making this romance endlessly sweet. That night at the snowy mountain base. Outside window, snow blanketed white. Inside room, warm as spring. That night, so long. Too young heart. Finally, fully merged. Time flies. In a blink, we stepped into university. Me and Sophie Manning. Both admitted to prestigious Nanjing University. Lately at Nanyu buzzed a legend, said in this freshman class. A girl with top-notch looks. Just that. Around her always strangers keep away, or cold as ice. Not caring for boys approaching to chat. I think her vibe is peak. 80%. Rich, Miss White. After lights out. Dorm started boys' signature late-night gossip. Old Lou, a roommate, laughed rebutting. Rich, or not, unknown. But I saw her at library the other day. That beauty. Say new debuting star, no exaggeration. Hearing roommates comment. I lay on bed, lips slightly up, secretly smug inside. Because the cold goddess out of reach in their mouth was Sophie Manning. And now, she and I were a proper couple. Relationship. Deep. Old Lynn? Not gonna go check it out? Heard lots crowding to see. Old Lou turned to ask me. I smiled lightly and waved. Nah. Gonna eat with her soon. Words out. Dorm erupted in doubtful jeers. Stop bullshitting, dude. Even claiming to eat with her. She just entered school. Already surrounded by over a dozen seniors. Asking for wet chat. All sent. Packing. Your turn? Yeah, old Lynn. You desperate to escape singlehood gone mad? Old Lou even poked head from bed. Touched my forehead. Muttering, no fever though. I tell you, bro. No girlfriend, nothing shameful. But don't live in dreams forever. Amid the teasing, I didn't explain much. Just leisurely put on shoes. Right then, my phone rang, breaking the noisy dorm air. Ring ring. I answered. Sophie Manning's clear signature voice rang out, crystal clear. Though no speaker. But, in the now quiet room, everyone heard clearly. Honey, you done yet? Bedding all set? I nodded hastily into phone. Voice full pamper. Done. Why you worry about this? Then hurry down to eat. I'm hungry. Sophie Manning cooed on other end. I'm waiting downstairs male dorm lobby. Got it. Coming right down. Hung up. I looked up at stunned roommates. Looking petrified. I raised brow. Let's go. Weren't going to cafeteria. Come along. The guys looked at each other blankly. That voice on phone just now. They vaguely heard. Indeed, super sweet girl voice. And overly intimate address. No way, old Lynn. You, for real. Don't hire actress for face saving. Vanity bad habit. Old Lou face, full shock. Still trying logic to explain this. I smiled lightly and stood. Adjusted collar. Let's go. If acting or not, downstairs we'll know. Finally, the half-believing guys trotted after me downstairs. But, stepping out dorm door, seeing Sophie Manning under tree, waiting for me. All of them completely dumbstruck. Sophie Manning quietly stood before male dorm. Just white tee and simple jeans. But, like a unique, beautiful scene. Making passing boys all turn heads. 100% turn rate died death. Seeing me out, her cold face melted instantly. She ran quick, naturally and smoothly linked my arm. Body almost glued to me. So slow. Way. I've waited over 10 minutes. She complained softly. Voice, max, coquettish. I smiled explaining, pointing at the statues frozen behind. Blame these guys. They insisted not believing you came to wait for me to eat. Even said I'm empty barrel loud, daydreaming. Hearing me, Sophie Manning giggled, eyes squinting looking at my roommates. Really? That smile radiant like spring bloom. For real? I smiled back, seeing us so close. The guys behind snapped awake, each face flushed, eyes wide. Holy shit, it's real. No joke, bros. The legendary cold beauty queen is really your girlfriend? Old Lynn, you're hateful. On way to cafeteria, the guys' mouths full of envy smell, but eyes, all admiration and blessings. Anyway, eating with such beauty counts as US bros getting the glow too. Though roommate's girlfriend But this feat I can brag whole year. Old Lou nudged Buddy beside. Lowered voice, joking. I say, don't get any KOKO ideas. BFT. Even if want to be CACO, see if she even notices me first. Look, her eyes glued to old Lynn. Ha 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 ha. After a burst of laughter, our college life officially started dramatic like that. University pace much freer than high school. Curriculum, no more cramming. Life, more colorful. Sophie Manning, admitted same school as me. Like, hack button, activate. She started shining brightly in all fields. Department scholarships. Freshman year she grabbed armfuls. Then city-level debate contests. Or mock trials, she won repeatedly. On school, forum. Sophie Manning, as expected, top. Nan Yu's top 10 beauties list. One afternoon. Golden sun lazily spread on grass. She leaned in my arms, leisurely scrolling school forum. Who do you think is prettiest among these 10 beauties? As expected, Sophie Manning casually tossed a deadly question, while fingers still swiped back and forth on other girls' pics. Of course, my family's the prettiest. I didn't even look up. Too used to these tests. My survival instinct at max now. Cheesy. She cooed. Then need me write full 800-word essay? To analyze beauty from essence to appearance. Clarify where you're beautiful. I set down the book in hand, looked at her. Eyes, full of smile. Forget it, not talking to you. Saying that, Sophie Manning lightly punched my chest. Force, not strong, but melted my heart. Oh, right. Did you register for this provincial innovation contest? She suddenly asked, dropping the playful face. Yes, I nodded. Though both at Nan Ui, but different depart. I majored in mechanical engineering, while Mon Man in law. This provincial contest, a big arena in my field, high value. I knew it. Don't worry, I'll help prepare materials. Though not savvy with machines, but I can help research data edit PPT. We leaned like that, enjoying rare, peaceful moments. But footsteps of uninvited guests broke the atmosphere. I felt Sophie Manning's body in my arms stiffen slightly. Her face changed a bit. You know these guys? I followed her gaze. Softly asked? Yeah. Leaders Charlie Von Dot, senior in student union, same department as me. He keeps harassing me, though I've bluntly rejected many times. Words out. A somewhat sleazy voice sounded. Manum, why no reply to my messages? I've sent you so many WeChats. That guy with underlings approached. Hair slicked shiny, face with smile, he thought handsome. I'm on a date with my boyfriend. Why reply yours? Sophie Manning coldly retorted, not even glancing at him. But that guy ignored my presence. Like I was invisible. Continued smiling at Sophie Manning. Ah, come on. Man, don't be so cold. See what I prepared for you. Saying, from pocket, pulled out exquisite velvet box. Open to see. Inside, clearly, a ring. What you prepare, none of my business. Charlie Vaughn, I've warned you, stop harassing me. Sophie Manning stood abruptly, eyes glaring angry, like a little cat territory invaded. How's that harassment? I just feel Mon, you're so excellent. Deserve better things. Charlie Vaughn glanced sidelong at me meaningfully, eyes full of contempt and challenge. Some guys just got lucky, can't give you a future. He knew nothing about me, but judged hastily by clothes and look. I slowly stood, shielding Man behind, blocking his unpleasant gaze. Charlie Vaughn looked at me provocatively, slightly chin up. What? Wanna fight? Bro, think before acting. Slap, crisp slap, echoed the small garden, cutting his nagging. I didn't waste words. Swung, Hand. Gave him a resounding slap. Scram! I looked down at him. Voice cold. No mercy. Charlie Vaughn clutched face. Whole body dazed. Snapping back, ashamed and furious. Clenched fist charging. You dare hit me? But I didn't retreat. Instead advanced a step, coldly replying. Try touching me. This small garden has high-res cam overhead. Whether your verbal harassment of manhwa or me protecting my girlfriend, cam captured all clear. If don't want this bootlicker face shamed school-wide, nor want discipline, then, wisely, scram now. Call me good student. I never thought so. Deep down I'm no weakling. This fake gentleman type reason won't work. Gotta be tougher to scare him. You wait. Charlie Vaughn gritted teeth, looked at overhead cam. Finally didn't dare act. Led underlings cursing while slinking away. After they left, Sophie Manning jumped from behind me. Whoa, Liam Nash, you were so cool just now. She hugged my arm tight, eyes full of admiring stars. Cool my ass. My hand hurts now. His face is thick. I glared at her, then rubbed palm. Though now, Sophie Manning much tamer. But really, deep inside, she's still the girl who loves drama. This time probably more trouble ahead. That Charlie Vaughn seems petty. But maybe from now, no one dares openly harass you anymore. Sophie Manning gently rubbed my shoulder, then rested head on it, softly saying, you know, I really like that possessive look in your eyes just now. And that pity too. Pity. I turned to look. Yes, like the first time you shielded me with umbrella. Amid bustling crowd, only you noticed my miserable state and willing to share umbrella. Thinking of that chance meeting. Even I didn't expect me and Sophie Manning to bond so deeply. All right, it's late. Let me walk you back to dorm. Under moonlight, we strolled campus path, our shadows lengthening. Actually, these years, I've changed a lot. The thugs blocking school gate, years ago. Victor Kane's gang. After never dared trouble Sophie Manning again. Not because they reformed, nor my fake police call, but because after I set a trap, collected evidence of them extorting other students, then sent all to police station. 3 years in jail, left them no chance to rampage. And today's Charlie Vaughn. Just another to kill chicken scare monkey. After dropping Sophie Manning, I ambled back to dorm, unconsciously rubbed temple. Sometimes girlfriend too beautiful is indeed a sweet burden. As predicted, provincial contest prep just started. That Charlie Vaughn pulled dirty tricks. He spread nonsense rumors on school forum about me and Sophie Manning, hoping public pressure to force us. On NANU forum, highest interaction post. He wrote like this. In upcoming provincial contest, mechanical guy's boyfriend of beauty queen Sophie Manning. Will participate too. If in that contest he doesn't rank higher than me, then he doesn't deserve Sophie Manning. This skirt clinger scram early. Below that post, a bunch of spectators curious for drama. I see that guy studies, okay, but bro Charlie Vaughn is God who won national scholarship. Pro skills, strong. Support, senior reclaim goddess. Jasmine flower can't stick in cow dung. My roommates raged, madly keyboard warring in comments. Keyboards nearly smashed. I say, old Lynn, aren't you mad? He's riding your neck. Old Lou slammed table angrily, face red fierce. Seeing me, calmly, drawing design, he got more anxious, even knowing sis-in-law deeply loyal to you. But us men can't be wimps. He named you to challenge. I nodded. Hand not stopping pen. Relax. Just a jumping clown. Wait for the show. Amid doubtful eyes, I set down pen, then accessed forum. Mood, now changed. Sophie Manning's official account left a pinned comment right under post. Likes surging to thousands instantly. Charlie Vaughn, hear this clear. Even if you win Nobel, not worth a toe hair of my boyfriend. In my heart, he's the best. You're just a talentless clown and random tantrum thrower. Please stop using my name for self-delusion. Moreover, spreading rumors shared over 500 times liable legally. If don't want lawyer letter, best delete post and apologize now. These words, out, instantly exploded the forum. Holy goddess, man zobadas. Dunno where that overconfident guy from. Butting into others' romance like he's right. Hit rock, this time. Fainted. True strong, female script. Law folks, no joke. Many girls voiced support. Oddly though man very beautiful, but extremely popular with girls. Perhaps her frank and sincere vibe makes no one jealous. Roommates, looking latest comments. Mouths agape shocked. I said no need worry. I smiled lightly. Roommates, thumbs up in unison. Admire bro Lin, forever. This love makes one so envious. Sis-in-law defends family fiercely. Bro Lin die. Teach us tips to snag such awesome girl. Cover your lunch whole semester. I laughed. Actually, just learn to shield umbrella for umbrella-less on rainy day. That simple? Yes. Just that simple. I continued contest prep as usual. During this, Charlie Vaughn still provoked, but Sophie Manning long blocked all his contacts. Even collected harassment evidence for defense. To me, he's like a buzzing fly, not worth attention. I just focused on my design. Contest went as scheduled. Charlie Vaughn presented before me. He had some skill. Model, quite polished, and scored decent. Stepping off stage, he deliberately threw me a provocative look. But when my project appeared, whole hall suddenly dead quiet. My design not only highly creative, but huge practical value in industry, on spot, caught judges' and investors' eyes. This result crushed totally and one goal. Charlie Vaughn below stage, staring at big screen scores. Face, pale, raging teeth, grinding. I also seized chance, from ordinary uni student, shot to fame, became tech partner owning patent. Even after grad, used patent to invest, owned my own factory. Third year Unite Die What? Me and Sophie Manning, the one in Nanjing startup research. One to prestigious Beijing law firm intern. Started long distance. But our feelings only grew, not lessened. Daily video calls. Our most awaited moments. Until a snowy winter night, right when my factory rising. Alarm siren tore silent space. Factory on fire. There. Stored all core production docs and latest product designs. I rushed into blaze, regardless to save data. But fire too big. Still one step late. Looking at soot-smeared staff and rubble mess. My eyes cold. Heart like bleeding. Boss, this loss, huge. Staff all sniffled. I drank water. Suppressing throat burn. Forcing calm. This fire no accident. Someone, intentional, must investigate. Factory fire system very complete. Ignition point strange. Just dodged auto sprinklers. A name flashed in mind. Charlie Vaughn. After grad, he opened same field company. Long surviving by copying my product. This, arson.aw. If to delay my new product launch, for him, to seize market, totally makes sense. I immediately sealed scene and reported police. Also, called Sophie Manning. Why so long to pick up? Man's familiar voice sounded a bit sleepy. Instantly soothed my anxiety. Montor. Factory burn. I suspect intentional arson. I summarized investigation and guess. other and silent a sec. Then, her decisive, professional voice. I booked earliest flight. Coming back tonight. My current legal team specializes criminal litigation. Leave this to me. Don't fear. That late night. Long since we met again. Seeing the somewhat simple rental and my soot-covered mess. Sophie Manning didn't complain. Instead smiled sweetly. Looks like begging to crash one night again. I hugged her close, greedily inhaling her warmth, not crashing. This is your home originally. Paper can't wrap fire. Under tight coordination between police and Man's legal team. Case, quickly breakthrough. Arson, confirmed, intentional. Police, immediately prosecuted. Charlie Vaughn, very cunning. He didn't do it himself, but ordered trusted underling to arson. Initially, that guy wanted take all blame, insisting personal grudge. Verdict out. Underling faced 15 years prison, while Charlie Vaughn thought free outside law. But Sophie Manning didn't give up. She like tireless hunter. Now, she pulled all-nighters scanning cash flows and call logs. Finally, under cover of countless transfers, she unearthed ironclad proof of Charlie Vaughn paying for arson and submitted to procuratorate. Watching Man's back, busy amid files. I saw her more beautiful than ever. Rumors years ago nearly ruined her. But now, law became sharpest sword in her hand. She no longer needs protection. But she's protecting me, protecting our future. After extended reinvestigation and trial, court finally accepted new evidence. Charlie Vaughn convicted. Couldn't escape law's net. Got 3 years prison. Day everything settled. My company paid Man's law firm a not small legal fee. Never thought one day I'd earn your money. She smiled, pulled prepared 800 yuan cash from bag. Stuffed in my hand. This 800 yuan repays the principal. I said. I'd repay you properly. Before I reacted, Man arms around my neck. Those soft lips pressed again. After brief passionate kiss, by my ear, her alluring whisper. Don't think I don't know what you secretly did for me years ago. That Victor Kane case file back then. I saw during internship. The anonymous reporter was you, right? My whole body stiffened. But, before I spoke, she buried head in my neck, crook. Her voice, slightly choked, but brimming endless happiness. Thanks, Liam Nash. You led me out of the abyss.